This video is sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can find all the cards in this video in their store by using the links in the description below. Hi everyone, we are doing another Thunder Junction draft. Looks like they're finally ranked again after not having been ranked. I don't know. They probably made some announcement about it. I guess maybe during the first week they aren't ranked in Premier Draft for some reason. But anyway, Marchisa's strong, but you don't really want to take she's not so good that you take her with the first pick because she's 3 colors and you don't know how likely you are to play her. Liked green and white a lot in this format. I think every color is playable, of course, but those are the 2 colors I like the most. The Burrow Fiend's been pretty darn good. Supplier has been pretty nice. Hard Bristle Bandit 2. This just lines up with a bunch of synergy in black-green, and in green-white because it's a mount. So, and it's just like a good 2-drop. So, it's kind of where I'm thinking about going here, because this pack's not, like, amazing. Yeah, I think we'll just take a Burrow Fiend here. These 2 white cards are pretty good, but I've liked green even more. I do like the Bandit too, but I like Burrow Fiend a little bit more, I think. Okay, so as I talked about before, Archive Trap does work if you get 2 or if you have the Lock Picker who can flash it back. A couple of pretty good white cards here, along with another Supplier in Nurturing Pixie and Omenport Vigilante. I think we probably just take Throw from the Saddle, though. We could think about taking a Desert, but, the deserts are important, but they're not as important as, Snowlands and Kaldheim were and things like that. So I think we probably just take Throw from the Saddle. It's just an amazing removal spell. It's extra good with our Burrow Fiend, yeah, just might as well take the best green card here when I think it's just better than Vigilante or Pixie or Supplier, or any of this other stuff, for that matter. It's just amazing how we've moved so much towards bite effects from fight effects. It used to be 4 mana for this effect, except it was a fight card, like Hunt the Weak. And now you spend 2 and you get a bite effect. So, they've really upped the ante on green removal. So I do like Doc Orlock a lot. The discounts he gives you are legit. Fierce Retribution's not bad. Bovine Intervention is, of course. Thunder Salvo's fine. These deserts are fine. I'm sort of leaning towards Doc, though. He is pretty good. The discounts he gives you are legit. I was a little worried going into the format that he was too narrow because, the other plot payoffs do other stuff. But Doc Orlock, there's just so many plot cards that it ends up working out pretty freaking well. Yeah, I think that is going to be where we go. Again, you could think about some deserts or a Thunder Salvo, but I like Doc Orlock enough. I do like Skullduggery too, and the Hellspur Brute's not bad, but we will take the bear. Journey to Nowhere is pretty spicy, and it's probably what I'm going to take. It's just a great removal spell. There's no reason we have to already be locked in on blue or anything. Yeah, I like Take Up the Shield a lot. Tumbleweed Rising is not bad. Tricks are a little worse in this format because there are lots of reasons for players to pass with mana up, and it's easier to, cast a removal spell in response. So this isn't a format where they're, insane, like most of them have been lately. Take Up the Shield and Snakeskin Veil are both pretty darn good because they also blink removal. So those 2 are still pretty good, but they aren't as good as they are in some sets. But yeah, we'll take the Journey. It's a great removal spell. And better than the green card here, and better than any of the other cards here either. Ariat would be so good in the right format. If this was Theros and every deck had 4 auras, she'd be busted. But it is not Theros, so she doesn't really do anything. Tarnation Vista, huh? That's pretty good fixing. Might just take it here. It's not a desert, which certainly matters, but it is very good fixing. It can even occasionally give you a little mana bump. I do like Vault Plunderer. The Townfolk's okay. Bounding Felidar is a little too expensive for me to really want, and these blue cards are all pretty medium, and in fact, I think this thing's just bad. Yeah, well, I think does it make more sense to take a desert in a set where there are cards that care about deserts? It probably does. Yeah. taking the rare is exciting and all, but being a desert really matters, especially in green, like Cac Tarantula is at common. All right, I like Beastbond Outcaster a lot. I do like Scorching Shot, but the double red has me less excited about it than a card that's frequently a 2-for-1 and also works with our plot build around. Should we go in that direction? Again, I like Outlaw Medic. We just keep having better cards than it in our packs. So we shall take the Medic. Or the Outcaster, rather. Not take the Medic. Yeah, and I mean, green has a couple of other pretty darn good cards that care about deserts too, including the Armadillo and the 3-mana 1/2 plant guy. So I think I made the right choice taking the desert, even though I didn't want to. Well, Clear Shot's excellent, so we're going to take it here. Just great removal that occasionally gives you a 2-for-1. It's easily the best card in this pack. I do like Dance of the Tumbleweeds, another green card that does stuff with deserts, but I have a hard time taking sort of a... Even though this format is grindier than most, taking sort of a dirtily card over like an excellent removal spell is... it's not really where I want to be. Okay, well... There's an Omenport Vigilante still hanging out here. The Apothecary's not bad, but I think the Vigilante is better. There are enough ways to give it double strike in general and at instant speed, and we do have a Journey already. You know, maybe it means we don't play Doc Warlock, but I'm not really going to be broken up about being in green-white because it's been pretty good anyway. You know, the blue has some pretty medium to bad commons, I guess, in this set. We've seen a bunch of them, like the 2-mana 2/1 that gives minus whatever to things when it attacks. And all right, we'll take a Sterling Supplier here. I like having one of those in most of my decks. And yeah, the Locomotive can get interesting in green-white. Can get interesting in black-white too, where you have some token stuff going on. But it can get in. The word "can" there is important. Like Supplier is just a really good rate. We do still have Marchesa here, but we're not in either of her colors. Otherwise, I'd think about it. In any of her colors, I should say. We're in the two that are not her colors. All right, well, I'll take the Pixie. I think we're in the right lane if green-white is, you know, we're being given Pixies and Suppliers this late in the draft. I guess it's possible green ends up not being open enough, but it was pretty open at the beginning of this pack. Bovine Intervention is not where I want to go. I guess I'll take... I could cut it just to cut a white card. I mean, there's something to be said for that, but... If somebody wants to play that, you should just let them, because it is awful. People always overrate that effect. But yeah, we'll take this, because we already have a blue card, I guess. Well, there's Ariette. Another blue card. It's been a little underwhelming. Could take a rare for gems, but I think I'll probably take like an okay blue card, just in case we go in that direction. Yeah, people are off of blue, I think it's safe to say. Yeah, okay. Well, lots of good red cards in this pack between Sharpshooter, Derailment, and Wolverine. We've also got a Hard Bristle Bandit and a Veil. The Bandit does give us some fixing and some nice ramp. It's probably where I end up going here. You know, this is a thing, but you kind of need... I mean, it's like an inefficient, hard-to-cast removal spell to begin with. And its ability is too narrow for, you know, most of these joins up cards aren't very good and limited. And that one's okay because its floor is removal, but it is hard enough to cast that I'm not like a huge fan. But yeah, we'll take a Bandit here. Speaking of joins up cards, that one is pretty darn bad. Very hard to set it up correctly. All right. I do love me some Spinewoods Paladin. I like it a lot more than the Sheriff, who's kind of dependent on what you have on your board, and the Paladin is just like a great rate, like 4 mana, 5/4 trample, gain 3. Kind of what it ends up being a huge chunk of the time. So yeah, there is a lock picker here for what that's worth, but it doesn't work that well in like blue-green. I mean, it'll work okay, but if I had taken the Archive Trap, I'd think about it, but right now it's not like we're doing that much with it, so I think we just take the Paladin. Ooh, Duelist of the Mind is pretty spicy. So is Cactus Folk Sure Shot. Both pretty nice cards. Probably end up taking Mystical Tether. Like, if this is pack 1, pick 1, I'd probably take the Duelist, but the Tether's just a great removal spell. I like the Sure Shot a lot too, but it doesn't feel like red is like remotely open based on the signals we've seen so far, so I don't really see myself going in that direction. I could try to splash it potentially, but I don't think that's what I want to do. Well, there's a really good red card in Hellspur Brute. Why does it have to cost double red? What's that about? So we're looking at Stagecoach Security or Tumbleweed Rising. I think I like the security a little more. It also has 4 power, which we have one card that cares about, and obviously Throw from the Saddle gets better with higher power. Tumbleweed Rising cares about power too, but it's another card that's dependent. I've had 2 or 3 occasions in this format where my opponent tried to cast this and I killed their only creature. It is a beating, and definitely a floor that you do not want to find yourself visiting. Pariah is not good, so we're not going to take it. Slick Shot, Lockpicker, again. We do have a Pylon and a Botanical Sanctum, both things that are interesting. Probably just take the Medic, though. I mean, it's just a good 2-drop. We know we're playing at 100%. Any of these other cards, the number is not particularly close to 100%. Well, Pylons is probably close, but yeah, it's not like it's way better than the Medic. So Kellen joins up. This one's interesting because its legendary trigger is good, but its other ability isn't. And it's not like we have a bunch of legendaries at this point. I think we just take an Ankle Biter. You know, we're just taking commons and uncommons over, like, cool cards, but, you know, that's nothing wrong with that. I don't hate Reach for the Sky. Don't love it, but I like it more than Oasis Gardener. So, yeah. I think it's what we take. It ends up working out okay. You know, it may not make the cut, but the same is true of the Gardener. So, we will Reach for the Sky. Okay. Not really anything for us here. I could take an Archway or a Barrens. Barrens doesn't really do anything for us. I'll probably take the Archway. Don't know that I play it if I don't get some more deserts. Yeah, Lullaby's fine. If I don't get some desert payoffs, I probably don't play the Archway in this deck. Right now, I guess Arloc's not making the cut. These other blue cards aren't good enough to even consider splashing. The Gigapede's the best of these cards, I think. It's been better than I expected. I'm going to take a Hound, though, because, like, if we end up in desperation mode and need something to fill a curve, we can actually play it. Yeah, Mourner's Surprise is actually a solid little card, but obviously we're not in black. We do have a Festering Gulch, but it's not the kind of card you splash. Not the kind of card we want to splash. Our deck may not be that exciting, but I think we have pretty good card quality across the board. Be nice to get some sort of bomb, but you know. Yeah, I'll take Pillage here, I guess. I guess if we ever end up in blue, which is like, you know, there's probably like a 5% chance of us shifting to blue for some reason. But if we do, we have like a critical mass of playable blue cards. You know, they're not good, but other than Doc Warlock, but you know, they're all fine enough. I mean, these days it's harder and harder to tell what an F is because obviously it's sort of graded on a curve. Like, cards aren't going to make the cut. Like, if you look at these cards in a vacuum, like Razzle Dazzler and Take the Fall, like, they're fine, but there's just better cards in the set. You know, there's only so much win rate for cards to eat up. And these cards that don't look bad at all, like all of these blue cards here, basically, that aren't Doc Warlock, are all, you know, I don't want to say they're Fs, and they're not. I guess they're Ds, though. You know, they're all cards that just haven't really... yeah, I guess I'll take a Bandit's Hall. They're all cards that don't have good enough win rates, basically. Ooh, we get my friend Pest Infestation. Man, we could have 3 Slick Shot Lockpickers and an Archive Trap in this draft. We missed out. But yeah, Pest Infestation is nuts, as we've seen in the previous draft video, I think. Another Bandit would be cool, but yeah, Infestation is just the best card in this pack anyway. You know, Eartha Joe's good, but yeah, this would be the pack one, pick one. Lockpicker's probably next on that list, and then maybe Eartha Joe. My friend Pest Infestation. That makes me, you know, I was saying our deck wasn't exciting. It just got a little more exciting. And we do have a decent amount of removal to get to the part of the game where we just cast this and take over. Goes nice with Stagecoach Security. Curve looks solid. We've got good removal. Ooh. So this card's real good. This pack's interesting, though, because it has a bunch of real good stuff. It's got Fortune, Prairie Dog, and another Burrow Fiend, which are just, like, in our color. And Hostile Investigator is easily the best of these cards. But we have 2 sources of fixing. I think maybe I'm just supposed to take Fortune in this situation. Yeah. It is interesting. I mean, one of these is likely to wheel, but, like, this is, like, 100% going to make our deck. We're going to consistently cast it on turn 3, be able to, and it's powerful. Investigator, we have medium fixing. There are going to be some games where it's really awkward. Okay, so there's a Cack Tarantula here. Probably take it over a second Supplier. Probably makes me play Archway, especially if we're just straight up 2 colors. I'll be playing the Archway. Yeah. Ooh, Aloe Alchemist is good. I think it's better than Naturalist or a Paladin. Or another Desert. Green feels really open again. We're not great with the Outcaster, but we're not terrible with it either. And we can trigger it again with Fortune and stuff like that, which is pretty sweet. One more Desert wouldn't hurt. Either with a 3-mana 1/2 who can search up deserts. Yeah, we got a couple rares in this pack that are good. Okay. This is not a desert I want, really. You know, almost all its value is the type line, and that's not exactly where I want to be. We'll take a Townsfolk. It's fine. They did finally print one of these creatures that grows when things die. That's playable. Got a Concealed Courtyard. Unfortunately, it's not a desert. And it doesn't help us do anything right now. If somehow that Hostile... Like, if this makes me wish I'd taken the Hostile Interrogator, because that probably would have been enough fixing to make it better than Fortune, but... Yeah. I think I'm probably going to take a Griffin here. Okay, you know, Rustler Rampage isn't that exciting, but I think I'd rather have it than a Townsfolk. We actually don't have much in the way of tricks, which I usually like to have at least a couple of. We haven't really been in spots to take them. You know, we haven't seen Snakeskin Veil, and we saw one take up the shield, but it was in an awkward spot. Raucous Entertainer is solid, and it gets a lot better when you have Pest Infestation. Because you you often have like 1 mana left over when you tap all your mana for Pest Infestation. You know a good place to spend it? Giving them all +1/+1 counters. And it's fine anyway, so, you know, I don't hate it. Can do some funny stuff with Fortune, too, because, you know, puts the thing back in. So, Ruthless Lawbringer is interesting. Makes me wish I'd taken that land a little bit. I think I'd take it over another security. It is late enough that am I really going to pick up fixing, but I think we probably take it and see. Well, Gold Rush is fixing, and it's a trick, and I think it's better than the other tricks we are trying to play right now. Here's an Oasis Gardener that we don't have a reason to play. Wingsmith's not very good, but I guess that's what we'll grab. It's a pretty late Wolverine. Do I have enough fixing for Lawbringer? Definitely don't have enough fixing for a Gigapede. Let's think. Probably not. I wasn't going to play another security, even though it is good with, like, you know, our, what's it called? Where even is it? Pest Infestation. So... yeah, probably don't play it. I mean, I could throw in Oasis Gardener too. If I throw in Oasis Gardener too, I get a little more interested. But this card is a little awkward. I mean, it's best if you're in black-white, obviously. But the problem with splashing it can be like, sometimes you need to do it when you have the thing that's worth sacrificing. And then you get your mana eventually, and you're just not in the spot. So I probably just don't play it. It's probably better for our mana. I mean, I'm going to run the Gulch anyway because of Cactarantula, and, it does 1, and, we have a couple cards, like Hard Bristle Bandit, that cares about crimes. I probably don't run Reach for the Sky. We got a late Gold Rush, which I think is just a better trick. So yeah, we don't need a 4-mana trick, even one that sticks around. I wonder if we can get away with 16 lands. I mean, this basically costs 4. This basically costs 4. It's a little bit of a stretch in a 2-desert deck to say this basically costs 5, but let's say it anyway. Yeah, we could maybe get away with it. The problem is we're running an Archway, which is not a colored source of mana, which in itself is like a problem in my categories, apparently. So I probably don't push it and try to run fewer lands. I mean, I have a couple, I have Gold Rush, I have the Bandit, but I'm not going to run the Gardener. There's no reason to if I'm not splashing. So, yeah. What do we cut? What's our last cut? Wanted Griffin's not amazing. I mean, neither is Townsfolk. Don't really think we cut any of these 2s. We have enough stuff that works well with the Raucous Entertainer, like Pixies, and going wide with Pest Infestation, that I think it deserves to make the cut. So it's probably the Griffin, I guess. I mean, it's not like Townsfolk is great, but I don't hate lowering our curve a little bit. I mean, we do only have 1 flyer, I guess, so having another one that can threaten them in the air certainly doesn't hurt. I could consider just cutting Rustler Rampage. It's also not a great trick. It does mean the only trick we have is Gold Rush, but that's probably okay. Yeah, that's probably the best thing to do. We keep our creature density pretty high. We have a few like fight cards and stuff that want that, and yeah, and we probably leave our mana like this. Yeah. Do we want more forests and plains? Maybe. So I guess we have about the same number of legit like 1 and 2 drops that are green or white. I mean, you can't really count Ariet's Lullaby. I mean, Journey to Nowhere doesn't matter. That, if we don't have white for it on turn 2, we don't really care. We do care if we have our only 2 drops in our hand are Outlaw Medic or Vigilante. We do care about green sources if our only 2 drops are these things, or as 1 drops we have Ankle Biter and Pixie. So it is hard to. I mean, I guess we're at 8/8, which is fine. That might just be the best place to leave it. Deck is pretty evenly split. We have 1 double card, but it's at 6/5, so yeah, this is probably fine. Okay, well, it's always good to have Pest Infestation in the opening hand, and overall this is a pretty good hand. We don't have white mana, but we do, because we have Hard Bristle Bandit. Probably play the Burrow Fiend on 2, but we'll see. Being able to play something and then Alchemist is always pretty spicy. It makes it a little less spicy, although it does grant Trample even, the Alchemist's plot trigger. So, getting blocked by an Ankle Biter isn't the worst thing in the world when you have Trample. They didn't want their Emergent Haunting, huh? It is our Ankle Biter, but yeah, we play... I mean, I could play the Bandit, but I think I want to play Burrow Fiend. Yeah. I mean, if next turn I can give it Trample, attack, and then play Ankle Biter, like... It's a pretty good turn. I mean, they probably block with their Ankle Biter, but we trample over for 4. So, I'd say we come out ahead there. If I had the plot 4/5/4 Trampler that gains me life, I would have thought about playing the Bandit instead, but... Oh. Why did they say oops? They could have played that on 2, I guess. Alright, so yeah, let's do this thing. Trade it for an ankle biter if need be. And then... Oh, I guess I said oops because they missed a land drop. That's what it was. Play our own ankle biter. Yeah, they're not in good shape. We don't have white, but we're about to, I guess. I think we just send in the ankle biter here. If they want to trade varmint for biter, I'm perfectly okay with that. Yeah. Alright, so then let's play Alchemist and Hard Bristle Bandit, which should mean we can play Sterling Supplier next turn, which should be pretty good to stick it on the Alchemist. Could return the Alchemist to our hand with our Pixie and give something trample too, which is always spicy. Alright, they hit their land drop now. That's less than stellar. Let's think here. Ooh, we have more white mana now. So, Oko. No wonder they kept their hand, huh? Let's think. Trying to decide whether returning Aloe Alchemist to my hand, buffing Ankle Biter is better. It's probably not. God, Oko's annoying. We could go with Pest Infestation, but I think we have a pretty good turn here either way. I think if we go... Yeah, we'll go Sterling Supplier. And we target Aloe Alchemist. Then send both of them at Oko. Now play Pixie Return Alchemist is kind of interesting. I mean, I lose the counter, but then next turn I can finish off Oko with a flyer. Oko can turn one of them into a 3/3, but we'll have two flyers. So, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I mean, there's a chance we could have just run them over with the 4/3 Alchemist too, but having two flyers makes me feel a lot better than the alternative. So, the game just sort of became, how are we going to kill Oko? And I think this is how we do it. Yeah, turning that into a 3/3 is pretty good. I mean, it's value they get to keep on the board. I can blow it up at some point, although we want to make sure they don't have mana up when we try. Okay. Well. Let's see. Let's do the Alchemist thing. Let's go ahead and buff the Pixie, because if they have removal, it'd be better to hold on to the Supplier. Yeah, they've got something here. Alright, so now it might just be best to Pest Infestation. I destroy the food and kill Oko if I do that. I kill Oko here if I swing out anyway, huh? But I lose something in the process. Interesting. I guess holding on to Pest Infestation until we can go even wider is probably better. So let's just, let's send them all in. And then play Archway. Return our Gulch. Sure. Play Pixie. return our ankle biter, replay our ankle biter, and yeah. So we got rid of Oko. It did take a bunch of effort. We didn't really... I guess we gave up one card in making it happen. Could be worse. Alright, so they've just got a Djinn coming. It's probably time to just kill this thing and make a bunch of friends. I could wait until I play the Vigilante, because then I get to get double strike, but that's probably being greedy. So yeah, we can make plenty, yeah. Oh, except, yeah, maybe I do wait. I mean, they're not going to be able to not play anything next turn, so... yeah. Let's just go ahead and attack with everything. And then we'll play Alchemist and Vigilante, and then we'll have our full complement of mana. Now we don't need to destroy that, but that's okay. I mean, not having to is good news. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, next turn we can pay 3 for X. Okay, yeah, they're dead. Make your own luck is not what you needed there, I don't think. I mean, maybe they're not exactly dead, but they're pretty much dead. Okay. They didn't even let us cast it. I guess maybe we had lethal anyway. Alright, well that went pretty well. We beat Oko. I mean, it helped that our opponent had mana struggles, that's for sure. We did a bunch of damage to them before, and they couldn't play anything before Oko. They did get an elk food out of it, but that was it. If they had played like 1-drop, 2-drop Oko, probably lose. And if we didn't have the flyers we had. Similarly, we're missing white. I mean, I think we keep it. We've got Pest Infestation again. Not being able to play the Vigilante might be a little frustrating, but maybe we'll draw white. We will be able to play Cactarantula on 5, so that's good. And we have a 2-drop, so it's not like a disastrous hand or anything if we don't draw white for a few turns. Do I want to play Ankle Biter on 1 instead now? Probably. Okay. I think we offer up the trade here. Yeah. We'll go ahead and play the Entertainer. Be pretty good if it's still around when we Pest Infestation, that's for sure. Ugh. Well, I'd like to kill that. I don't currently have a way to do it, but I'd like to. Well, let's attack with both. Play our Gulch, and unfortunately that's all we got. This is going to start growing. So removal would be good. Preferably removal that doesn't need white mana. If my deck responds to my request and decides to give me our Journey to Nowhere or whatever right now, it's not going to be good. It is not going to be good. Okay. Oh, Lone Shark. Is it better to attack with Burrow Fiend here? I mean, a entertainer here. Probably not. Making a Burrow Fiend a 3/3 is pretty legit. So let's just attack with Ankle Biter. A 3/3 is pretty good on this board. Especially a 3/3 that can grow. Yeah, that's not good, though. Get a couple of crime triggers, grow their creature, play a Loan Shark, draw a card. I don't like that turn. I do not like that turn. I'd like it if it was my turn, but... you know. Time to stop attacking with Ankle Biter. Wow. Oh, good. They're only once a turn triggers. I think I would have waited if I were them, although that may just mean they have another way to commit a crime. All right. I do have a way to kill the Blood Hustler before things get really out of hand. That's good, I guess. We are still dealing with some other problems, but I think that's definitely what we want to do here. And then we pass our turn. We can at least trade with Loan Shark with our Ankle Biter, theoretically. They probably only attack with the Raven, yeah. Leaving all their mana up is concerning. I still think we try to play Tarantula here. Let's go to combat, see if they do anything. They do not. I mean, the other option is passing my turn entirely, but they almost definitely have something else they can do at instant speed. So let's just do it. Yeah, it gets countered. Brutal. Brutal. And they have flyers too, so even Pest Infestation can't really save us. It's what we have to do. And we do have a mana. No, we won't. We won't have a mana left over. I think we lose this game, especially if they have another counter spell. Oop. It's X twice, so it doesn't quite work that way. I don't have any targets, right? You're not secretly you have another one of those? It's scooping time if they do. I mean, we probably lose anyway. Even if they don't, but if they do... Okay, it's even worse. They have 3 steps ahead, so... Yeah, we got destroyed that game by control, more or less. Countered our 2 really, like, plays that could have turned the game for us. I mean, the Tarantula was actually the better one. I wonder if I should have cast... I mean, they both got countered in the end, but I wonder if I should have cast Pest Control, or whatever it is, first. Because the Tarantula was better at turning the game around against a couple of flyers, although they only had 1 flyer when I cast it. Yeah, that's a mulligan. Goodness. Well, kind of have to keep this one and pray we draw white. It's just hard to go down more cards. And there's a pretty good chance we draw more green cards or white, you know. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Their name is Rat King, and they have rat sleeves. They're way cooler than I am. I just have the rat sleeves. They probably wish there was a rat thingy. Okay. Why are we getting our 1 source of black mana more than we're getting our white mana? I don't know. We are going to attack with Burrow Fiend here. And if they block, we do get treasure. And there might be something to be said for getting treasure either way. Okay, well, now we're definitely getting treasure, so... The white mana is nice. Okay, so I think we journey so that we can plot. And there is a chance we can get this to 4 at some point and draw, but yeah, if we journey and plot, that's a pretty good turn. Yeah. So, we play Outcaster. It'd be nice to wait until I can draw a card, but if I play it here and then saddle this and get one creature in the grave, I can kill Bridled Bighorn. So, this is one of the few that doesn't trigger when you attack. It triggers when you saddle, rather. So, yeah. Let's hope we mill a creature. There's a good chance we do. We mill 2 of them. They are white, which when we don't have a plains does feel pretty nice, especially because they'll continue to buff our Burrow Fiend. But yeah, we just go ahead and do that. Smash in for 5 here. Maybe at a later date we'll return our Outcaster with our Pixie and draw. I mean, if we draw plains this turn, we can do it. So that's not that much later of a date. We do not draw plains, but that's okay. Yeah, let's go for the buff. Because we already know it's going to be big enough. Do they bounce it in response? Maybe. Again, we milled things that we wouldn't have been able to cast anyway. So the mill so far has been beneficial, I would say, overall. I mean, the Archway might have been nice, but... Okay, well, it's Bovine Intervention. That's never going to hurt my feelings too much. After all, I have a 2/2 that can still attack through your Sterling Hound and all of that. Ugh. All right. We're not taking very good advantage here, though, are we? See, we got a 2-for-1 in the end. We can return this if we ever draw our white mana that is apparently non-existent. Hey, look at that. We do have white mana. I knew it. No reason to do it first. Putting a 3rd counter on the Pixie does sound good, but it's going to be a 2/2 anyway, and we just need to do... Yeah, I think we just attack. And then we go Pixie... Bounce this. Replay it. Yeah, I guess I would have put a counter on it and the Outcaster. That probably was better. But now we have a tether and 7 damage on the board, so I feel pretty good about things. Yeah, let's just tether them. Drop them to 3. They do get to draw a card with the Haul. Yeah, that's not going to stop us, though. Luckily, our mana problem there didn't do us in. Our mill, if it weren't for that mill from our Burrow Fiend, we never would have drawn white mana, and we would have drawn like 4 more white cards. So the Burrow Fiend was kind of the MVP there. I mean, it's random, it's variance. You know, there's a chance we would have milled things we would have drawn, wanted to draw, but it worked out pretty well. The outcome was good, even though you can't really count on the outcome. What is it with our white mana and our Festering Gulch being our best friend? We do have a Hard Bristle Bandit at least this time, but man. All right. With Throw from the Saddle in my hand, playing Ankle Biter on 1. Yeah, I mean, we'd probably do it. Especially when we don't actually have a reason for black mana. We just have the Gulch to be a Gulch, basically. So, and next turn, we drew white naturally. How about that? Let us play a land. And attack them. There is a decent chance they have counter magic here. But I think the upside of playing Vigilante and then potentially triggering it, giving it double strike multiple times, is too good for me to pass up. Because I can go Gulch, get double strike, Archway, bounce the Gulch, give it double strike again, and that's pretty good. Especially with Throw from the Saddle in the mix. Yeah, alright. So, let's play a Gulch. And let's Throw from the Saddle. We're not going to get to do it here, sadly, but we do get to hit them for 6 here. And Journey to Nowhere can trigger it too, so if they play another creature, we can hit them for 6 again, and play the Archway, return the Gulch. Might just kill them with Omenport Vigilante here. Well, we aren't even going to have to Journey into Nowhere, because they played a card that doesn't really do anything. Okay. Journey to Nowhere, our own Ankle Biter, just to do 4. That would be brave. So let's play our Bandit. And then an Archway, bounce the Gulch, Pixie. Yeah, Pixie's pretty good. Just, yeah. More damage seems good. We even get a free mana here, not that we can really use it. Oh, man. That is messed up. Still going to hit him for 4 this turn, 5, thanks to our Gulch, but that is a good play against us here. Then we play our Pixie and replay the Vigilante, you know, just to get a free counter, because we don't have anything else to do. So that works reasonably well. Ooh. We actually can't, can we? Because I played the Gulch. Is it better to have a 2/2 flyer than a creature that's going to have double strike when I play Journey? I think it's probably better to have a 2/2 flyer. I mean, this has more damage potential, but this is more likely to get in, you know? Alright, Pixie. Are they going to let you do your thing? It looks like they're going to do something. There's the bounce spell, I guess. Do you go to 3? You do. Replay our Vigilante. Man, there were a lot of pauses on that turn for them to ultimately do nothing, weren't there? Yeah, they didn't surveil away anything, which is interesting, I think. Clearly they're not playing the campaign, or they would have... Man. They left up 4 mana. Burning a journey into nowhere here when I don't have to is... kind of... Like, if they manage to kill our Vigilante here... Well, they still need to find a flyer. Yeah, let's go for it. And we still have, like, a huge lead, and we can... There's lots of cards in our deck that can finish the game. Granted, if they stabilize and start casting campaign, their life total is going to get too high. That is an outcome to be aware of. But, let's go for the kill here. Because we are out of gas officially at this point. We need to stop drawing lands and start drawing real cards ASAP. We've got to have something here. I just don't know what it is. Okay. Well... They didn't entirely kill it, and they still have to deal with our flyer, but there's a very real chance they stabilize here. Kill Pixie, especially if they, like, play campaign, kill my Pixie, and that's it. I mean, we could still find a way to finish them off. You know, Pest Infestation was always gives us a puncher's chance, but... Okay, interesting. It is a real card. Not one that's going to help us from removal, though. Maybe they flash a creature in and we can Gold Rush through it. I don't know. Okay, that is what happened. And that is our plan here. Uh-oh. They have a response. Although, if it's a bounce spell, dang, it's not a bounce spell, and it kills our creature, and they go up to 5, and then they get their creature back. This is the outcome I was afraid of. We drew too many lands in crunch time. Like, one more creature in the mix, and we probably get there. But now, it's going to be tough, short of drawing Pest Infestation. They're going to gain back a ton of life. Maybe I'm greedy, but I think I would have played the campaign again instead of drawing 2. Ooh, it's not looking good, folks. I still think I think playing Journey to Nowhere when we did was the play. They had to have 2 things to keep themselves from dying, and then they had them. But I think, you know, if that's the case, you go for it. They're going to have a big Outlaw Stitcher turn. So if we brick on our draw here, well, we don't entirely brick. Scry's good. I think we just have to throw this away, and we have to find Pest Infestation. I think that's the only way we win. So, even though Outlaw Medic is a real card, I think we get rid of it. I am going to hold on to this just to bluff. Like, I don't think they're going to think we actually have anything, but... playing the land has almost no value, and holding on to it has slightly more, I think. So yeah, they're going to play like multiple spells, then Outlaw Stitcher, and make a huge zombie token. It's going to be great. Especially if they do that. We do get to scry again. Which will get us closer to our pest infestation, you know? These decks are pretty sweet when they go off, and, you know, you have to walk a tightrope like our opponent did sometimes, and you kind of have to hope your opponent bricks on a couple draws when they do so much damage to you, but that's what happens, so. We're not quite dead, but we're close. If they countered this. They only have 2 mana up. They can't really counter it. Come on. Or they can. Okay, then. Essence capture. Yeah, we got destroyed. I bet our opponent feels so good right now. There's few feelings in Magic that I think feel as good as stabilizing at 1 life and then clawing your way out of a hole. So kudos to them. Kudos to them. Okay, look at that. We got white mana. I didn't know it could be done. Yep, looks pretty good. We could have slow rolled that to get a double strike trigger, I guess. But I'm actually kind of leaning towards playing Burrow Fiend, since then I can start saddling it, and it just sort of keeps building in a pretty impressive way if our opponent doesn't do anything about it. So, looks like they have Take Up the Shield in their hand. At least that's what I would guess, based on how it stuck just there. I don't think we care about Inventive Wingsmith right here. I think we play Vigilante and Saddle. If we hit 2 creatures, great. If we don't, well, that's fine too. We only hit 1, so we're not going to attack. Well, there's a mystical tether target if I've ever seen one. Okay. Yeah, so we tether it. Hit them for 6. Hitting the for 6 is definitely better than, yeah. Definitely. Now, they are in white. They might be able to destroy our tether, which would not be fun. But, I guess we'll see. Might kill one of these now with, like, Ariet's Lullaby and drain me for 1. They do not. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and do this. Up to 4. So right now they don't have toughness over there that can actually kill our creature. I might as well swing with it. I mean, power. That's what I should say. Although they may have... Oh, it's another Bovine intervention. Makes me wish I'd played my townsfolk a little bit, but like before, doesn't worry me that much. We'll play Cactarantula here. Our opponent did beat us, you know, but... Did the opponent who Bovined us beat us? I mean, you can win when you cast it, but you just... You go down too much value when you do it. Okay, you can swing and tap my Cactarantula, I guess, but then you're just going to take a massive hit on the backswing. So that's what I thought was a Take Up the Shield, I think. Oh yeah, it has Ward. No, it doesn't. I'm thinking of the Armadillo. Oh, I do get to draw a card, though. Okay, well, that's better than Ward. I'll take it. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. Interesting. Interesting. I think playing Stagecoach Security is the play here. I was going to play Ariette's Lullaby and get Double Strike, but just buffing the whole board and giving it Vigilance is excellent, so... They might have it take up the shield. We're going to find out right now if they do, because they'll block and use it to kill my Vigilante. It looks like they do. Oh no, it's Skullduggery. Yeah. Not quite as back-breaking as take up the shield, but not ideal. Okay. Let's play Townsfolk. Attack with both of these. Drop them to 2. Does make me wish a little bit that I'd played my Paladin the normal way, but plotting it's pretty good. It looks like they might have drawn a way to blow up my tether, which would not be good. Okay. That's not a way to blow up my tether, luckily. And that's aggressive. Sort of like they have a little bit of lifelink attached to it, I guess. We are drawing lots of lands again, huh? Send in 4 attackers. 2 gets through no matter what. You can kill the townsfolk and the ox. Except... No, yeah, you can do it either way. No, because you have to block one of these, so only one of them dies. Obviously, the townsfolk. I think we swing. We have another huge creature coming, plus we're going to kill their Raven, so they'll have 1 fewer creature who can block. Yeah, they don't have great options here. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and lullaby that. You know, there's a non-zero chance they have, like, a sweeper. But, okay, they scooped. I was going to say, like, there's something to be said for holding on to the Paladin when your opponent's at 1 in that situation, just in case they have the sweeper, but they did not. And they weren't willing to wait for me to decide whether I wanted to take the minimal risk of playing another thing. Okay, another no white mana hand, except we have Hard Bristle Bandit. But that is a fragile source of white mana. But it is a fine hand overall. Maybe play a turn 2 Hard Bristle Bandit. Maybe that lets us run out of Pixie and do some stuff. Maybe we do an Alchemist, I don't know. Normally, like, if I didn't have something else to do on 2, I'd play the Alchemist. But if I can get a trigger out of its... plot thingy, like, you're gonna do it, you know? Yeah, we definitely play the Bandit. It gives us lots of options next turn now, so, if it's alive. As I said, it's a fragile source of white mana. Beastbond Outcaster. There's a decent chance that they, run out something with 4 power this turn. So, what do I want to do here? The options are many. I'm thinking play Townsfolk, then play Pixie, bounce the Bandit. Yeah. That seems pretty good. I could also do Alchemist plus Medic, or... and by Alchemist, I mean plot it, but I think this is better. We go Townsfolk, Pixie... Yep, there's the 4 power thing I thought was reasonably likely they would have. Okay. So, let's plot this. Then do I want to Journey to Nowhere one of these? Or am I okay with... I think I'm okay if they block with both to kill our Vengeful Townsfolk. So... and they even still take 1 if they do that. So, yeah, let's... and then... would I rather have Outlaw Medic out there? Probably, yeah. Guess they have a whole bunch of mounts. There are enough of them in the set that, like, you know, you end up being able to do stuff pretty often. So, I guess I'm just going to attack. There's a decent chance they've got something here. Holy cow or something, but it's not like that's a huge deal. Oh, didn't really predict the Colossal Rattleworm, though. Brutal. Okay. Well. Let's get rid of that. I sort of feel like we're in the same kind of spot we were last game, though, where... the opponent has plenty of time to stabilize. Yeah, that's pretty good. Gives you 2 creatures that are bigger than what I can deal with. Yeah, it would take 4. And if we draw a land here, it's not going to be good. Certainly feels like I played too many lands in this deck, huh? I mean, it was hard... if I wanted to play the Cavern thing, I felt like I needed 8 sources of each color, but maybe I just shouldn't have played the Cavern, or... I don't know. So, giving trample to stuff in the future is not going to be good for us. And that is a pretty likely outcome at some point. They're just going to build out their board until they can give everything trample. Colossal Rattleworm number 2. Oh, God. Yeah, I think we lose. I'm thinking we lose here. They didn't give stuff trample, so that makes it a good time to do that. I do not have good blocks for this freaking Beastbond Outcaster, but especially with cards in their hand and everything. Oh, gosh. So I would go to 4 here. But I'm looking at a flyer that I can't block. Let's just chump the Outcaster. I think giving up more than that would be a bad idea. Okay. Oh, God. We could produce a blowout if we hold on. Now I wish I had that one more mana pretty badly, don't I? Because then I'd be able to clear shot and fortune. So, if I'm allowed to use clear shot, what happens is I block Outcaster and use it to kill Supplier. And then both of those will die. I mean, I just think that's our better play than playing Fortune here, unfortunately. If I had one more mana, playing both would be awesome because I'd set up my next draws. I'd have a body on the board that is, like, relevant. Man, should I just do it now? I don't think so. I think if we just kill Sterling Supplier, we can't win still, basically. So let's hope they don't, and that we can set this up exactly how I want to. Yeah, that Sterling Keykeeper's a problem, isn't it? Okay. We've got... Okay, we might get the blowout we need here. So, block here, block here. Clear shot. Do you have a response? If not, we might turn it around. If they do, we probably lose. Even if they do... Ugh. Oh, God. Okay. That means we lose. Outright, not just like in a minute. It just means we lose now. I don't feel like my mana was very good to me, but... You know, maybe I really did run too many lands, but... I think this deck had better in it than 3 and 3, but it's okay. We never got to really cast Pest Infestation. I mean, that's gonna hurt your win rate. So, all right. See you all in the next draft video.